Breaking news now: Putin and Kakar meet to discuss expanding their commercial and military partnership. At their meeting on the sidelines of the Belt and Road Forum, the two heads of state discussed issues of regional peace and security as well as the importance of bolstering bilateral cooperation in a wide range of areas. Putin, the Russian president, welcomed Kakar, the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, for a meeting that covered issues both domestic and international. In his opening remarks, Afghanistan's Prime Minister Kakar noted that Pakistan and Russia shared interests in combating terrorism, and he urged greater cooperation and a unified approach from Afghanistan's neighbors. He advocated for proactive cooperation between neighboring countries in the areas of intelligence, defense, and counterterrorism. Regarding bilateral cooperation, Prime Minister Kakar stated that Pakistan's 240 million people were living in an energy-starved nation. During his time in Russia for Energy Week, Pakistan's Minister of Energy had what he called fruitful and constructive engagement with his Russian counterparts. He also mentioned that the Russian team had proposed concrete ways to improve energy cooperation. When asked about his impressions of Russian architecture during his previous visit as a senator, the Prime Minister said he was mesmerized by the country's depictions of Christianity in its buildings. He also noted the similarities between the two nations when it came to cultural and ethical values that are not widely shared outside of the region. The caretaker Prime Minister, Anwar al-Haq Kakar, met with the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, on Tuesday. They discussed ways to strengthen trade and defense ties between the two countries. Putin and Kakar hold talks on trade and defense cooperation. Since there is only one bidder for the privatization of PSMC Corp., the Apex Committee of the Special Investment Facilitation Council, (SIFC), has reportedly instructed the Privatization Commission, (PC), to cancel the current bidding process and take the matter to the federal cabinet, according to sources close to the privatization minister, as reported by Business Recorder. Further alienation of PSMC land is hereby halted per instructions from the Secretaries of Industries and Production and Privatization. Apparently, the Ministry of Industries, Production, and Privatization has mandated that a working group investigate the possibility of shutting down Steel Corp and auctioning off its plant and equipment, or reoperating it with any mode or private sector, and present their findings at the next EC meeting. Steel mills' industrial land should be used as efficiently as possible for industrial purposes, and a committee consisting of the Minister of Industries, the Minister of Privatization, and the Chief Minister of Sindh should make recommendations on how to do so. In 1984, Pakistan Steel opened for business. Pakistan Steel was profitable for the entire 8 years between 2000 and 2008, but has been losing money every year since 2008/2009. Its production output was below its potential from 2010 to 2015. In 2014, it only operated at 6% of its potential output. In June of 2015, it was finally shut down. Many governments have invested time and money into trying to get it to a point where it can sustain itself without further assistance. The privatization process was first conceived of by the then government in 1989-90 as a means of transitioning nationalized industries to a market economy. But opposition political parties at the time fought the government's attempts to privatize the PSM. PSM was privatized to a consortium of foreign and local investors in 2006, after having been in operation for around 22 years, during which time it had been operating at maximum capacity for at least the previous 3 years. In 2006, the privatization of Pakistan steel mills was ruled illegal by the Supreme Court of Pakistan, dealing a major blow to the privatization program. There was a lack of transparency and proper procedures during the privatization of Pakistan steel mills, the court ruled, invalidating the entire disinvestment process.